Hey everyone, Scott Mertens. I'm here with Lawa-Na McClellan from Lawa-Na Co at Keller Williams Coastal Lakes and Mountains Realty.
Nice work, Scott.
Today we're here at Exeter as our featured town. Exeter, more than just a place to live, just a great place to be, right?
Absolutely.
We're here on a beautiful day. It's amazing. Exeter, tons of history, tradition, education, boutiques, and food.
And spirits. And today we're going to grab lunch at Auto Pizza. If you've never been, make sure you check it out. There's one in Portland, one in Newburyport, one in Portsmouth, and clearly here in Exeter. Let's go grab a bite to eat. Thank you, sir. Hey everyone, Lawa-Na McClellan here with Lawa-Na Co, and I am here at Auto Pizza in downtown Exeter with Scott and Jonah. And Jonah, we're going to interview. He is working here at Auto, and we want to know how long he's been here in the area and what made him come here.
Yeah, I came here from Bangor, Maine in November, and I'm in a band called Milk Street, and there's just way more opportunity here, a great live, not that there's not one in Maine, but there's a way more robust arts community and live music community. And also we were starting our tours in Boston, so driving 5 hours to get to a community was kind of difficult for sure.
Absolutely, and that is true. The Seacoast region has a ton of live entertainment. Yeah. It's heavy on the arts, such a great spot to plant yourself. Yeah. And then working here at Auto,
yeah,
you enjoy?
Yeah, it's busy. I mean, there's a great tourist community as well as a great local community.
Yeah.
So it gets busy all year round and stuff.
Yeah, this is a great outdoor space here. So if you're in Exeter and you want to grab salad, pizza, sandwich, I mean, we've sampled all of it from the menu today. Stop here and see Jonah and support him.
Yeah, please.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Hey everyone, Lawa-Na McClellan here, and I'm here with Scott Mertens with Luminate Bank. We are here with another update in our Clarity and Housing series. Hi, Scott.
Hi. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, we are in June, guys. So we're just recapping May for you right now. And today we're focusing on Exeter, New Hampshire, and the vibrant market that is.
Exeter's a great little community. I think I told you this, but I actually lived in Exeter for 1 year. Really enjoyed my time there, but I couldn't buy there. This was way back when. So would love to now, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, Exeter is beautiful. I actually do a decent amount of transactions in Exeter. In the past month, I've sold 2 homes over there, and I'm actively working with a buyer, taking her out tomorrow to look at a new listing. In fact,
we're seeing some demand. We've had some people apply. It's a great community. You know, that SAU is really in demand for a lot of families, looking at school systems, looking at resale, looking at proximity to the Seacoast, what it has to offer.
Absolutely. SAU 16 is very desirable. A lot of single family homes turning over in Exeter.
A lot of over 55 condo development too, right? We've seen a
correct.
lot of that as well. So they're balancing out that school system demand with some deed restricted communities that are being developed, but both are really well received by the market.
They very much are, because downtown Exeter is, I call it a little slice of Portsmouth. I love it. It's right on the river.
Yep.
Lots of cute little boutiques and restaurants.
Great food.
Yeah, it's really a
very walkable.
Spot. Very much so. And you have Phillips Exeter Academy right there. Just very, very beautiful.
Train stop.
Yep.
Right.
Easy commute. Actually, the home I just sold, the large home I just sold, were folks coming from Boston, and they needed to be near the train.
Yeah.
And the house was near the train. So it just worked out good. They're used to city living. They loved it. They loved that it was walkable to downtown. And I do think that's an attractive thing for a lot of buyers in Exeter, is being able to have a little piece of a town.
Yeah.
You know?
Love it.
A downtown. So
what do the numbers say?
The numbers. Let's talk numbers. The median list price in Exeter is just shy of $600,000.
Okay.
The average days on market in Exeter are up about 2 weeks for over last year, so about 50 days on market. And I mean, it's a healthy market for sure.
Yeah, transaction counts, I think you told me 35.
Closed in the last month.
Pretty disparate, low and high though, right?
Price range is about 25,000, which was a mobile home.
Yep.
Up to 1.3 and a half.
So you get a
single family.
Pretty diverse market. There are a couple of community co-op manufactured home parks in Exeter too. So it's a pretty diverse housing environment as well.
It is. And I feel like it's kind of compartmentalized in regards to like, you know, it feels a little country in one spot, and then you've got the downtown area, and like it's definitely, or industrial on one way, you know. Yep. When I went out on tour with a buyer a few weeks ago, we looked at it all. I felt like I was in the country one minute. I felt like I was in an industrial park, cutting through an industrial park actually to get somewhere, and then downtown. So definitely.
Great hospital, great schools, a sneaky good golf course if you're into that kind of thing. So Exeter's a really great community. Does have a lot of demand. How about competition?
I mean, competition for Exeter would be typically any buyer that I work with that's looking in Exeter is also considering Portsmouth, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And those are kind of the two that they're interested in, if they're interested in a town.
Yeah, and you might get into Stratham. Exeter to Stratham is a pretty easy leap, same school district.
It is the same school district, but when I'm talking about lifestyle, because a lot of real estate is lifestyle, right?
Sure.
So if you like Exeter and what Exeter has to offer you for a lifestyle, meaning dining, shops, and you know that little strip of the town, then you're also attracted to Portsmouth.
Sure.
And both have great schools.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's what I see for competition for Exeter. But if you want a town that can stick in the same school district, you have East Kingston, you have Kensington, you have Stratham, Exeter, and Brentwood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great communities. I'm excited to head to Exeter this afternoon. We'll drop a little live footage in there. Yep. Maybe chat with some tourists, some locals. We'll see who's willing to share some information with us.
Yeah, and check out a property while we're there.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
So Scott, tell us about the mortgage market.
Well, you know, trying to get prepared for this conversation and what's been going on, I actually looked at where rates were a month ago today, and they're pretty comparable. Mm-hmm. So you would think that there's not a lot going on. That is the exact opposite of the truth, okay? It's just we have gone way up and way down and then sort of settled at the same numbers at the beginning of the month and the end of the month. You know, there's still a lot of confusion there. What's going on with tariffs? What's going on with trade? What's going on with the big, beautiful bill? And as you know, it passed the House, but it still has to go to the Senate. There's a lot of confusion about whether this is going to add more debt to the deficit. You know, some people are saying $4 trillion in 10 years. Other people are saying that the revenue from the tariffs is going to offset this. So it creates uncertainty. And as you know, when there's uncertainty in the bond market, interest rates panic. So
people panic.
People panic, investors panic, start selling things. So that uncertainty has still kind of kept us in a little bit of an inflated range, but still under 7, you know, depending on what loan product. A lot of our buyers are still using housing agencies when they can. So, you know, New Hampshire housing still the best sauce on the street if you qualify. So make sure you're asking your lender about that. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of action, lots of borrowers. The volumes are up nationally. Although, how was your April as far as transaction count?
It was good.
It was good? Okay.
Was good.
I did hear a number that kind of surprised me the other day. Nationally, the number of transactions in April of this year were the lowest since April of 2009.
I had a busy April.
That's post-Great Financial Crisis, people, which means transactions nationally were low. But there's still a lot of demand out there. And in this market, we're still seeing a lot going on, right?
And I mean, that kind of brings us right back to the headlines, right? The national headlines.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of filter out what's real, what's not real. One of the things that we were discussing is this headline out there. I think Redfin carried it, maybe a couple other housing authorities, that there are now more sellers than buyers, and that this should create all kinds of opportunity for buyers to negotiate price, ask for concessions, things like this. But as much as that may be happening nationally, I'm not seeing it with my customers.
That's not happening here.
Yeah.
It is not happening here. In fact, in the past week, I've written out 5 offers, all of them multiple offer situations. And that's not because we're not getting new inventory, because we are getting new inventory and there's
Right.
more coming, but it's because of the demand, right? Like we have a lot of people trying to buy a home right now. So as much as that national headline may be true to a lot of places, right?
Nationally.
When we're talking intimately about our Seacoast area and where we service and the people here, that's not our headline.
Yeah, it's confusing because you're trying to set expectations for your buyers and your borrowers that
are reading those headlines.
Yeah, like why can't I get this? And you have to go in there and explain. So, I think we had 3 borrowers that had to use escalation clauses because they knew there were multi-offer situations. So, the article referenced Miami as one of these classic cases where there are 3 sellers for every 1 buyer, but we know that's a micro market and there's something else.
There's a huge market adjustment happening in Florida due to all of the natural
condo
disasters,
fees, insurance costs, fixed income, property taxes. So I don't like to include that in our dialogue, but that's why you see these national headlines. They're real in that they have data to support it, but it's not always transferable from the West Coast, the South, Florida to the Northeast.
And again, this is exactly why it's so important to work with a local professional wherever you're shopping, because you cannot count on those headlines to be true to where you're shopping. And then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment when you start putting in offers thinking that that's your strategy, that there's room for that negotiating when you're trying to land a home in Portsmouth up against multiple offers.
Sure. So what if I take a borrower who's qualified with 3% down and they think they're going to get seller's concessions to close?
Oof.
And then we go make an offer. Yeah. So again, we're always trying to set expectations for consumers, for real estate agents, for all parties involved, so that transaction progresses and we actually close.
And we do a damn good job.
We try, we try. Absolutely. We love doing the work, but we actually love closing the transaction as well. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. So again, if you see some of these national headlines, if you have questions about our community, talk to a local professional, Scott Mertens, Luminate Bank, Lawa-Na at Lawa-Na Company, right?
Lawa-Na McClellan with Lawa-Na Company at Keller, Williams, Coastal Lakes, and Mountain Realty.
That's a mouthful for me. I'm working on it though. By our 12th one, I'm going to get it perfect. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Hey guys, Lawa-Na McClellan with Lawa-Na Company at Keller, Williams, Coastal Lakes, and Mountain Realty, and I'm here with Brittany, who is the homeowner of this beautiful home at 7 Ash Street in Exeter, New Hampshire. Not only is she the homeowner, she is also for sale by owner. She is selling her own home. They've been here for 2 years. Brittany, tell us a little bit about your situation here.
Yeah, so we love the home and we love the proximity to being close to downtown Exeter. We love, having a beautiful backyard, so close to downtown and being so close to all of the restaurants and shops. We have an in-law apartment, which we had plans for multi-generational use, but it didn't quite work out that way. But my husband and I both work remote and are open to some other opportunities around the state, as well as potentially moving back down south. So this home is now available.
Awesome. So they're in a position they can pivot. They've been here 2 beautiful years. They've enjoyed this gorgeous home, walking distance to downtown Exeter. They've improved the home. They redid the primary suite bathroom. They made a beautiful backyard, which was once maybe sandpit-ish. They put a beautiful patio out back. I mean, there's so much to love about this home. So if you're a family looking for a beautiful home with a great footprint and a 3rd floor that's waiting to be finished, stop here. They're having an open house on Saturday.
Yep, 11 to 2 p.m.
This is a great opportunity. And also if you're looking for a multi-generational home, this is a great opportunity with an in-law suite.